stop right there. Before you click away, I need to tell you something that will change how you see conversations forever. You know those guys who walk up to any woman and just start talking like it's nothing? Like they were born with some secret power. They weren't. And I'm about to prove it to you. Right now, you're going to learn the actual truth about starting conversations with women. Not the fake mystery method. Not the pickup artist nonsense. The real psychology that philosophers have understood for thousands of years. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote something powerful in his private journal. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about that. Every time you see a woman you want to talk to, what happens? Your mind creates a movie, a terrible movie. You imagine her rejecting you. You imagine everyone watching. You imagine failing. But here's the secret Marcus knew. None of that is real. It's just your mind, and your mind, you control it. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. When was the last time you wanted to talk to someone and you actually did it? Not just women. Anyone. A stranger at a coffee shop. Someone at the gym. A person standing in line. Most men will say never. Or maybe once. Years ago. Why? Because we've been taught wrong. We've been taught that starting conversations requires some special skill, some magic words, some perfect moment. That's a lie. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychology, discovered something interesting about human beings. He found that most of our fear comes from one place, the unconscious mind, the part of you that's trying to protect you from danger. But here's the problem. Your unconscious mind thinks talking to a woman is dangerous, like facing a tiger, so it floods your body with fear. Your heart races. Your hands shake. Your mouth goes dry. Your brain is literally treating a simple conversation like a life or death situation. Crazy, right? Now, I'm going to tell you how to fix this. But first, you need to understand something fundamental. Greene, who studied power and human behavior for decades, wrote that the greatest power you can have is the power over yourself. Not over others, over yourself. When you walk up to a woman, you're not trying to control her. You're not trying to manipulate her. You're not trying to trick her into liking you. You're simply controlling yourself. Your fear, your thoughts, your behavior. That's it. Let me break down what actually happens in the first 10 seconds of meeting someone. This is where most men destroy their chances. Nietzsche, the German philosopher, said something that sounds harsh, but is deeply true. In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, it is the rule. What does this mean for you? When you walk up to a woman in a group, you're not just dealing with her. You're dealing with the collective judgment you imagine everyone has. The crowd in your head. But guess what? Nobody is watching. Nobody cares. Everyone is worried about their own problems. The woman you want to talk to, she's probably wondering if she looks okay, if people like her, if she said something stupid earlier. She's human. Just like you. Now, let's talk about the moment before you speak. The approach. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, taught a simple truth. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you see a woman you find attractive, something happens to you. You feel attraction. That's not bad. That's natural. That's human. But what do most men do? They panic. They convince themselves they need the perfect opening line, the perfect moment, the perfect everything. And while they're thinking, the moment passes. Here's what you need to do instead. Count 2, 3. That's it. See ya. Count 1, 2, 3. Then move. Don't think about what to say. Don't plan. Don't rehearse. Just move your body toward her. Your brain will figure out the words. I promise. Why does this work? Because action destroys fear. Fear lives in the waiting. In the thinking, in the planning. The moment you take action, fear loses its power. Marcus Aurelius knew this. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your fear is not stopping you. Your fear is the way. The moment you walk through your fear, you become stronger. Now, let's talk about what actually comes out of your mouth. Forget everything you've heard about opening lines. Forget that it hurt when you fell from heaven. Forget what's a goal like you doing in a place like this. Forget all of it. You want to know the best opening line in the world? Hi. That's it. Hi. Or hey. Or hello. Or excuse me. Why? Because it's real. It's honest. It's human. Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, believed that truth was the highest form of beauty. When you speak truth, people feel Italiano. When you're genuine, people know. A simple hi is more powerful than any clever line because it's true. You're not performing. You're not acting. You're just being human. But here's where it gets interesting. What you say after hi matters. A lot. Most men make one of two mistakes. They either interview the woman with boring questions. Where are you from? What do you do? Or they try to impress her with stories about themselves. I just got promoted. I drive a nice car. I know important people. Both are wrong. Why? Because both are needy. Both are seeking approval. Both position you below her. Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher, wrote about human nature. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. When you try to impress someone, you're forfeiting yourself. You're pretending to be something you think they want instead of being who you actually are. And people can smell that from a mile away. So what do you say after hi? You say whatever's true in that moment. Hi, I saw you from over there and I thought you seemed interesting. So, I came over. Truth? Hey, this might be random, but I noticed your book. I read that last month. Truth. Excuse me. I know this is bold, but I'd regret it if I didn't say hi. Truth. See the pattern? You're not hiding. You're not playing games. You're being direct about your intention without being creepy or aggressive. This is what Jordan Peterson calls speaking your truth. When you align your words with your actual thoughts and feelings, you project authenticity. And authenticity is magnetic. Now, I need you to type something in the comments. Type, "I'm ready." Because what I'm about to teach you in the next segment will change everything you think you know about attraction and conversation. Welcome back. If you typed "I'm ready" in the comments, good, that means you're serious. That means you actually want to change. Now, let's go deeper. You've said hi. You've been honest about why you approached. Now what? This is where most men fall apart. They panic. They search for something clever to say. They try to fill the silence with words. Any words, just to avoid the awkward pause. And that desperation, she feels it immediately. Machiavelli, the Italian philosopher, wrote something crucial in The Prince. He said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. When you're desperate to fill silence, you appear weak. When you're comfortable with silence, you appear strong." Let me explain why silence is your friend, not your enemy. When you meet someone new, there's a natural rhythm to conversation. It goes like this. Speak, pause, listen, respond. But nervous men break this rhythm. They speak, speak, speak. No pause, no listening, just verbal vomit. Why? Because silence makes them uncomfortable. And when they're uncomfortable, they assume she's uncomfortable too. But here's the truth. Silence is only uncomfortable for the person who's afraid of it. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Confine yourself to the present. Not the future, not what she might be thinking. The present moment, in this present moment, there's you and there's her. That's it. no audience, no judges, just two humans having a conversation. So after you introduce yourself, you pause, you breathe, you look at her, and you wait. And wait for what? Wait to see if she's interested. Because here's something nobody tells you. Not every woman you approach will want to talk. And that's okay. That's not rejection. That's just life. Epictetus taught his students to focus only on what they can control. You can control your approach. You can control your words. You can control your behavior. You cannot control her response. She might be having a terrible day. She might be in a relationship. She might simply not be interested. None of that is about you. So when you pause after your introduction, you're giving her space to respond authentically. If she smiles and engages, great. If she's cold or dismissive, you thank her for her time and you walk away with your head high. Either way, you win. Because you had the courage to try. Now, let's say she responds positively. She smiles. She says hi back. Maybe she laughs a little because you were direct and it surprised her. What next? Here's where the conversation formula comes in. But not the fake one you've heard before. The real one. Robert Greene studied seduction and power for years. One thing he discovered is this. The key to power is the ability to judge who is best able to further your interests in all situations. But I'm going to flip that on you. The key to connection is the ability to judge what genuinely interests you about this person. Not what you think will impress her. Not what pickup artists told you to ask. What actually interests you. Because when you're genuinely curious, your questions change. Your energy changes. The whole conversation changes. Let me give you an example. Bad question. So, what do you do for work? Why is this bad? Because you don't actually care. You're just filling space. She knows it. You know it. It's robotic. Good question. What's something you're working on right now that you're excited about? See the difference? This question is open. It's genuine. It allows her to talk about anything. Work, hobbies, projects, dreams. And here's the secret. When people talk about things they're excited about, they light up. Their energy rises. They become more attractive, and they associate that good feeling with you. Sigmund Freud understood this deeply. He discovered that people don't remember what you say. They remember how you made them feel. When you ask boring questions, she feels bored. When you ask exciting questions, she feels excited. Simple. Now, let's talk about the biggest mistake men make in conversation. Trying to agree with everything she says. You know what I'm talking about. She says, I love this song. You say, me too. It's amazing, even if you've never heard it before. She says, I think pineapple on pizza is great. You say, totally. I love it, even though you hate it. Why do men do this? Because they think agreement creates connection. It doesn't. Agreement creates boredom. Nietzsche said something powerful about this. He said, the individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. When you agree with everything, you disappear into the tribe. You become invisible. You become forgettable. But when you respectfully disagree, you become an individual. You become interesting. You become memorable. Here's how to do it right. She says, I love this song. You say, really? I never got into it. What do you like about it? Boom. Now you're having a real conversation. Now she has to think. Now she has to explain. Now you're actually getting to know each other. She says, I think pineapple on pizza's great. You say, I respect that, but I think that's insane. Sweet and savory don't belong together like that. Now she's laughing. Now she's defending her position. Now there's energy between you. This is what philosophers call dialectic. The back and forth of ideas. The dance of different perspectives. Plato built his entire teaching method on this. He didn't lecture. He questioned, a challenge, a pushed back. And through that friction, truth emerged. The same happens in conversation. Through gentle disagreement, real connection emerges. But here's the key word. Gentle There's a massive difference between disagreeing and being disagreeing. I see it differently. Here's why. Disagreeable, that's stupid. You're wrong. One creates attraction, one destroys it. Arthur Schopenhauer wrote about this exact thing. He said, "Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. When you disagree politely, you show strength and respect at the same time." That combination is incredibly attractive. Now, let me give you a framework for the actual flow of conversation. This is practical. This is something you can use tonight. The framework has 3 parts. Observe, connect, explore. Observe. Notice something real about the moment, the environment, or her. That's an interesting book. I tried to read it once, but gave up halfway. This place is always packed. Do you come here often? Or is this your first time? You seem like you're in a good mood. Good day. Connect. Find common ground or interesting difference. Oh, you gave up on it too. What made you stop? First time. Me too. My friend dragged me here. Bad day, actually. What happened? Explore. Go deeper into something that genuinely interests you. What kind of books do you actually finish? What kind of places do you usually go to? Do you want to talk about it? Or should we talk about literally anything else? See how natural this is? You're not following a script. You're following a rhythm. Observe what's true, connect, on Italiano. Explore what's interesting. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Stop arguing with yourself about what you should say. Just be present. Be observant. Be curious. The conversation will flow naturally." Now, here's something crucial that nobody talks about. Your energy matters more than your words. Jordan Peterson speaks about this often. He talks about how your nervous system communicates before your mouth does. If you're anxious, she feels it. If you're calm, she feels that too. So how do you stay calm when your heart is racing? Breathe. Seriously. Before you approach, take 3 deep breaths, in through your nose, out through your mouth. This signals to your brain that you're safe, that there's no tiger, that this is just a conversation. And when your brain believes you're safe, your body relaxes, your voice steadies, your hands stop shaking. This is not pseudoscience. This is biology. Hobbes, the philosopher, understood human nature as driven by physical needs and fears. He knew that our bodies control our minds more than we like to admit. Control your body, and your mind follows. Now, I want you to do something. Comment below with one thing you learned so far. Just one thing. Because what's coming in the next segment is the part where most men fail. The transition from small talk to real connection. And if you don't understand this next part, you'll always be stuck in the friend zone. You're still here. Good. That means you're not like most men who watch 30 seconds and quit because they want a magic pill. There is no magic pill. There's only understanding. And you're about to understand something that will separate you from 99% of men out there. Let's talk about the transition. The moment where small talk becomes real conversation. Where politeness becomes attraction. Where nice to meet you becomes, I want to see you again. This is the moment most men completely miss. They have a pleasant conversation. They laugh a little. They say goodbye. And then, nothing. No spark. No chemistry. No second meeting. Why? Because they never made the shift. They stayed safe. They stayed surface level. They never went deeper. Robert Greene writes about this in his work on seduction. He says, most people are locked in their own worlds, making them stubborn and hard to persuade. The way to lure them out is to enter their spirit. Enter their spirit, not just their conversation. Here is Speedy. There is Speedy. Let me show you exactly how to do this. After 5 or 10 minutes of pleasant conversation, there's a fork in the road. You can keep things light and meaningless, or you can take a risk and go real. Most men choose safety. They keep it light. They make small jokes. They talk about the weather, and she walks away thinking, he was nice, but I don't know, nothing special. The men who create attraction, they take the risk. They go real. Here's what that sounds like. You've been talking about surface things, work, the city, random observations. The conversation is fine but flat. Then you pause. You look at her, and you say something like this. Can I ask you something real? Those 6 words change everything. Why? Because you're asking permission to go deeper. You're showing respect. You're also showing courage. You're willing to leave the shallow end and swim into deeper water. She'll almost always say yes. Because humans crave depth. We're starving for real conversation in a world of small talk. Then you ask a real question. Not what do you do, but what do you actually care about? Not where are you from, but what's something about your past that made you who you are. Not, do you like this place? But when you're alone with your thoughts, what do you think about most? These questions are different. They require thought. They require vulnerability. They require her to stop performing and start being real. Sigmund Freud discovered that beneath our social masks, we all have a deeper self. The part of us that's afraid, that hopes, that dreams, that doubts. When you ask real questions, you speak to that deeper self. And when someone feels seen at that level, something shifts. Connection begins. But here's the catch. You can't ask deep questions and then give shallow answers when she asks you the same thing back. This is where most men fail. They want her to be vulnerable, but they stay guarded. They want her to open up, but that's not fair. That's not real. And she'll feel it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." If you ask her to be real, you must be real too. So when she asks you a real question back, don't deflect with humor. Don't change the subject. Don't give a corporate answer. Tell the truth. She asks, "What do you care about?" Don't say, "Oh, you know, the usual stuff." Say, "Honestly, I care about becoming someone I respect. I wasted a lot of time trying to impress people I didn't even like. I'm done with that." See the difference? One answer is nothing. The other answer is human. Nietzsche said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." Your chaos, your struggles, your imperfections. These are not things to hide. They're things that make you real. And real is attractive. Now, let's talk about touch, because this is where men either overthink or underthink, and both are problems. Some men never touch at all. They stand 3 feet away the entire conversation like she has a force field around her. Other men touch too much, too soon. Hand on the lower back within 2 minutes. Arm around the shoulder. Way too aggressive. Both approaches fail. The right approach is natural, brief, and appropriate. "You're laughing at something," she said. You lightly touch her arm for half a second while you laugh. Then your hand returns to your side. You're guiding her through a crowded space. You lightly touch her back for a moment. 10. You stop your making a point in conversation. You tap her shoulder once for emphasis. Then you continue talking. Brief, natural, not lingering. Why does this work? Because touch is communication. When done right, it says, "I'm comfortable with you. I see you as a person, not an idol. I'm not afraid of you." Arthur Ellis, the psychologist, wrote about rational behavior versus irrational behavior. Irrational is worshiping someone from a distance. Rational is treating them like a human being. Brief, appropriate touch treats her like a human being. But here's the rule. Watch her response. If she pulls back, even slightly, you stop. Immediately. No second attempt. No testing. You respect the boundary. Because respect is not just attractive, it's mandatory. Now, let's talk about something most dating advice ignores completely. Energy management. You know that feeling when you're talking to someone and you can just tell they're losing interest? Their eyes wander. They check their phone. They give shorter answers. Most men panic when this happens. They try harder, they talk more. They become more entertaining. Big mistake. Epictetus taught that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In conversation, power consists not in talking more, but in needing less. When you sense her energy dropping, you don't chase it. You acknowledge it. Hey, I feel like I'm keeping you from something. Do you need to go? This does two things. First, it shows you're perceptive. You notice you're not lost in your own head. Second, it gives her an out. If she actually does need to go, she appreciates that you gave her an easy exit. But here's what usually happens. When you offer the exit, she realizes she doesn't want to take it. Oh no, I'm good. Sorry, I just got distracted for a second. And the conversation continues with renewed energy. Why? Because you didn't chase. You gave space. And space creates desire. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He wrote, "Never was anything great achieved without danger. The danger of offering an exit is that she might take it. But if you never take that risk, you'll spend the whole conversation chasing her energy like a beggar. Better to risk the exit than to beg for attention." Now, let's talk about ending the conversation, because how you end matters just as much as how you start. Most men make one of two mistakes. Mistake one, they end too early. The conversation is going well, but they get nervous about overstaying, so they bail out prematurely. Mistake two, they stay too long. The conversation has naturally reached its end, but they keep forcing it because they don't want it to be over. Both are bad. The right time to end is when the energy is still high but starting to plateau. Think of it like a song. The best songs end before you want them to. They leave you wanting more. They don't drag on until you're sick of them. Jordan Peterson talks about the importance of leaving things at their peak. Quit while you're ahead is not just gambling advice. It's life advice. So when the conversation has been good for 10 or 15 minutes, and you feel it's starting to level off, that's your moment. You say something like this: "This has been really great. I don't want to take up your whole day, but I'd like to continue this conversation sometime. Can I get your number?" Direct, honest, respectful. You're not playing games. You're not pretending you don't want her number. You're being clear about your intention. And here's the beautiful part. If the conversation went well, she'll say yes. If it didn't, she'll say no. And you'll have your answer. Either way, you're not left wondering. Plato believed that knowledge is better than ignorance, even when the truth is painful. Now, what if she says no? You smile. You say, "No worries at all. It was really nice meeting you." And you walk away with your dignity intact. Because here's the final truth of this segment. Rejection is not failure. Rejection is information. She's telling you that you're not a match. That's it. Not that you're worthless, not that you're unlovable, just that this particular person is not the right fit. Marcus Aurelius faced rejection and failure constantly as an emperor. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every no gets you closer to a yes. Every rejection teaches you something. Every conversation makes you better at the next one, so you don't fear rejection. You accept it as part of the process. Now, comment below if you've ever gotten a woman's number. Yes or no. Be honest. Because in the next segment, I'm gonna teach you what to do after you get her number. The follow-up. The text game. The first date setup. This is where most men fumble the ball right at the goal line. Don't be most men. Ever wonder why your texts after getting a number often lead nowhere? It's a common pitfall. Sending just "hey" can instantly kill attraction. You're not building intrigue. You're creating a void. This creates a vacuum effect, where your lack of effort leaves no space for her to engage. The key is to have a life beyond your phone. Don't rush. Let anticipation build naturally. A good text reference is a shared moment, like still thinking about that coffee in our pineapple pizza debate. This kind of message sparks curiosity and reminds her of your connection, making her smile. When you meet, lead with confidence, a warm smile and a brief, friendly hug set the tone. Engage in natural conversation. Laugh and truly connect. Avoid interview-style questions. Build anticipation, like an hourglass slowly turning. The gap between desire and satisfaction is powerful. End the night on a high note. A confident goodnight leaves her wanting more. Walk away with confidence, knowing you've created a genuine connection and left a lasting impression. Master these texting habits and transform your dating life. Comment below with your one action for this week. And don't forget to subscribe on Rockstar Love Therapy, and I see you in the next one.